Hi everyone, welcome back to Hope and Coffee. I'm Hope with my coffee, just settling in for the afternoon and just checking in to see how everyone is doing. Today was Monday and it was a little bit of a hard day, but it wasn't too bad. But I just wanted to kind of see if your day was okay. So I can tell that my makeup is starting to get a little dry and all those sorts of fun things after who knows how many hours of being all over the place and on my face. But anyway, we are not talking about makeup today. We are talking about, honestly, we're just talking about some of the things that sometimes are very stressful in our life. And so that is this episode is more about things that are feeding my anxiety. And that is kind of what I wanted to talk to you about today. And not only because it's a Monday, because sometimes Mondays are just tough in general, and Mondays can be anxiety inducing. But for me, I always find that to be one of the harder days of the week. Not only because we are kind of getting the ball rolling for the rest of the week, but it kind of feels like we're kind of hit with everything all at once, and then we have to work our way through it just to get to the end of the week where we finally get those 48 hours of reprieve before we have to do it all over again. So, starting off the bat, Monday itself is already kind of anxiety inducing because I never know what I'm going to walk into at work. And so, one of the things that kind of gave me a little anxiety was a couple of phone calls that were not related to, I guess, me so much, but some of the things that were beyond my control, but I was still needing to address certain portions of it. So I was doing my best to help facilitate those in the best ways I possibly could, and trying to manage those appropriately. And so it just feels like sometimes I should be able to do more, even though, like, logically, I know there's only so much I can do. And then, of course, I went and I talked to one of my bosses because one of my bosses is not currently in the office. And she was offering me some advice as well on some of the things I could possibly do. So we were kind of working through a few things. But that was feeding a little bit of my stress. And then I was trying to coordinate with a friend about possibly meeting this weekend to just try to make a little bit of a reconciliation because we had had a falling out. And, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be a mutual friendship. Like, it doesn't seem like the friendship's going to maybe be able to be reconciled the way I was hoping. And it also feels like I might be the only one trying to do any sort of reconciling. So I know I was not in the wrong with the friendship falling apart. So, but I feel like I'm the only one trying to salvage anything from the friendship as well. So that was kind of something that was causing a little bit of anxiety for me, is because even though I hate to feel like I'm giving up, I also hate to feel like I'm the only one putting in any effort. And I don't want to say I'm cutting my losses, but I kind of want to say that enough is enough at a certain point, and maybe enough is enough, and maybe I just need to accept that things are never going to be the way that I would hope they can be, or the way they were in the friendship. And some people are just going to not be in our lives the way they were at one point or another. And sadly, like, that's just going to happen sometimes as we grow and mature. So, I don't know. If y'all have watched some of my episodes, y'all know that I have some attachment issues, and y'all know that maybe it's a little harder for me to let people go sometimes. So I usually am the one who tries to salvage friendships and tries to salvage relationships, and I will usually hang on until the very, like, last breath. But I'm also learning that I don't need to exert as much effort as I do when it's not mutual. And so maybe this is one of those times I just need to accept that maybe I don't need to do that. Maybe like I'm not being used because like it's not a situation where like a fishing line is being dangled in front of me. It's nothing like that. It's more like I'm just like constantly trying to pursue something that doesn't seem like it's waiting for me to catch up. And there again, it also seems to echo another situation, another friendship that feels very similar, that I also kind of wonder if it's one that's almost kind of run its duration as well. So I'm sitting here going, if I go ahead and kind of chalk up my loss on that one, do I go ahead and let it go? Because again, these friendships need to be mutual, and I feel like I'm doing a lot of legwork on it just to keep it afloat. And this is a secondary friendship. This is another friendship that is not the one that I was already trying to salvage. This is a secondary one. This is another one that, that this first one is starting to make me realize that maybe this one is also kind of in a very similar boat. And do I really have the manpower? Do I have the bandwidth to try to keep being that person? Because I always feel like I'm that person who's constantly being the pursuer instead of, I'm always the friend that I wish other people were to me, but I don't feel like I really have that type of friend. And so it's a hard realization to sometimes come to. And so I don't know, like it's one of those very kind of difficult things to work through. So those are just a couple things that are kind of feeding my anxiety right now. Is my social circle is very, very small right now. I have my podcast girls, which is literally 2 girls. I have my D&D group, which meets about once a month, and it's and one of those podcast girls is in it. And then it's about 4 guys. And yeah, and that's kind of my social network right now. And I don't really get to see them all that often, but these other couple people that I've been trying to hang on to just to have a couple of additional friends, I'm kind of wondering, like, do I need to just go ahead and let them float away? Or do I keep trying to hang on so I can continue to have some of these connections? So I don't know, because again, like I want to have social connections, but being in this new location, I really haven't been able to develop too many friendships and too much social networking. It's been very hard because I guess as an adult, it's just hard to build a friendship group when you get a little older. So I don't know what you guys think about like building friendship groups as you get older. I don't really know the best way to do it here in Huntsville. I've tried looking online to see like what groups there may be to join, but haven't really found anything yet that seems like it's going to work. But let me know what you think down below. If you've made it this far, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. I would really appreciate that to kind of help with my like numbers and my subscribers. It would do really well to help the channel. And I will see you all on the next page. Thanks for tuning in and have a great one.